depression. It's a word that echoes with immense weight, touching countless lives globally.
It really does.
And for too many, the journey to finding effective treatment feels less like a path and more like a maze, especially when traditional medications or more invasive procedures just don't offer the breakthrough they desperately need.
That's a very common story, unfortunately.
So what if there was an established, non-invasive approach, one that's offered a genuine lifeline to, well, tens of thousands worldwide? That's what we're going to get into today.
Exactly. We're exploring transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS for short, and specifically looking at the really remarkable 10 Hertz protocol.
10 Hertz, okay.
Yeah, and this non-invasive brain stimulation technology isn't just, another option. It's actually become a foundational pillar in treating major depressive disorder for over 16 years now.
16 years, wow. And this exploration into cutting-edge, non-invasive brain stimulation technology is brought to you by Sabres Medical.
Ah, yes. They're real global leaders in TMS solutions, trusted in, I think, over 20 countries now.
That's right. And if you're curious to learn more about how they're making an impact, you can visit blossomtms.com. So our goal today is really to unpack the fascinating history, the clear efficacy, and the evolution of this technology. It's a story rooted in science, definitely, but ultimately it's about providing hope, providing tangible relief to people who might have thought they were out of options.
Mm-hmm. And to really appreciate where we are now, we kind of need to rewind a bit. Go back to a pretty pivotal moment in mental health care, 2008.
Okay, 2008, what happened then?
That was the year the FDA officially approved the 10 Hertz TMS protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Before this, options for individuals grappling with treatment-resistant depression were often frustratingly limited.
Right.
So this approval, it wasn't just like a bureaucratic box ticked. It really heralded a new era. It opened doors to a non-pharmacological, non-invasive approach that had been, years, even decades, in meticulous scientific development.
It sounds like a monumental shift, really. What made the FDA's approval of this protocol, the 10 Hertz one, such a game changer? Were there big scientific debates or hurdles it had to clear? Because, for so long, if talk therapy or antidepressants weren't enough, what came next was awfully pretty slim pickings or much more invasive.
You've hit on a crucial point there. The biggest challenge, really, was demonstrating irrefutable efficacy against a placebo, or what we call a sham treatment, and doing that in really rigorous clinical trials, especially given that it was a completely new way, a new modality for treating depression.
Okay.
And you also had, the natural skepticism towards a technology that sounded almost futuristic, using magnetic pulses to treat the brain.
Right. Sounds a bit sci-fi.
Exactly. But the data was compelling. And the 10 Hertz protocol quickly became the cornerstone, sort of the bedrock of these non-invasive brain stimulation therapies, because it specifically targeted the left dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the DLPFC.
The DLPFC. Okay, so this specific area became the bullseye for the therapy. What's so special about that particular brain region? And what was the key research, the foundational stuff that really cemented its effectiveness and led straight to that FDA approval?
The DLPFC is absolutely key, yeah. It's a region that's deeply involved in executive functions, things like working memory, planning, and crucially for this, mood regulation.
Oh, okay.
In many individuals with depression, this area actually shows reduced activity. So the thinking was, well, let's stimulate it, try to enhance its function. The foundational research, the one often called the gold standard study, was led by O'Riordan and his colleagues back in 2007.
O'Riordan in 2007. Got it.
And it wasn't just any study. It was large, multi-site, randomized, controlled, all the hallmarks of high-quality research. They meticulously compared daily 10 Hertz TMS sessions to a sham treatment, a fake treatment, essentially.
Right, the placebo control. And what did that O'Riordan study find? For those of us maybe familiar with trials, what made its findings so definitive that it really paved the way for FDA approval for major depressive disorder?
What made it definitive was the significant statistical difference. It wasn't borderline. The study clearly showed that patients getting the active 10 Hertz TMS had substantially greater reductions in their depressive symptoms.
Substantially greater, okay.
And importantly, higher rates of remission compared to the group getting the sham treatment. We're talking about a tangible, measurable improvement that just couldn't be chalked up to a placebo effect.
So it wasn't just feeling a bit better, it was real clinical change.
Precisely. This wasn't a minor tweak. It was a profound therapeutic effect. It showed TMS could offer genuine relief, especially for patients who hadn't responded well to previous treatments, like medications. It really solidified TMS's place as a legitimate, effective treatment option. put it on the map.
Okay, so let's unpack how it actually works then. When we talk about stimulating the DLPFC, what does that mean on a deeper level? Without getting too lost in the weeds of neuroscience. Are we talking about changing neurotransmitters, or is it something more structural?
That's a great question, because it's easy to misunderstand. It's not about simple zaps or anything crude like that.
Mhm.
At its core, the 10 hertz protocol uses a focused magnetic field. There's a coil placed near the scalp, right? This magnetic field passes painlessly through the skull and induces a small electrical current in that targeted brain region, the left DLPFC. The 10 hertz part, that just refers to the frequency of the magnetic pulses. 10 pulses every second.
Okay, 10 times a second.
Yep. And this high-frequency stimulation is thought to excite the neurons in that area to increase their activity. Over repeated sessions, because it's usually a course of treatment, this sustained stimulation is believed to promote neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity, so like helping the brain rewire itself.
Essentially, yes, helping the brain reorganize and form new, hopefully healthier connections. This can lead to a rebalancing of neural activity in the mood circuits and an improvement in mood regulation. It might influence neurotransmitter systems indirectly over time, but the direct mechanism is really about modulating how neurons fire and how networks connect.
Fascinating. So it's almost like targeted brain training in a way. And traditionally, how long did one of these sessions take? And you mentioned it's evolved. How has that changed for patients?
Exactly. A form of targeted retraining is a good way to put it. Initially, back when it started, a typical 10 hertz session delivered 3,000 pulses. That took about 37.5 minutes.
37 minutes. Okay, that's a decent chunk of time.
It is, especially when you consider that a typical course involves daily sessions, 5 days a week, for maybe 4 to 6 weeks. That's a significant time commitment.
Definitely.
But thankfully, advancements in TMS coil design and how the pulses are delivered, well, they've remarkably shortened this. We're now looking at sessions that can deliver that same therapeutic dose, the same 3,000 pulses, in roughly 19 minutes.
Wow, nearly cut in half.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And this isn't just a minor tweak, it's a huge step forward for patient comfort, for clinic efficiency, and just overall accessibility of the treatment. And crucially, without compromising the established effectiveness.
That's a perfect example of how innovation can refine something already powerful. And speaking of effectiveness, this 10 hertz protocol, it isn't just a flash in the pan, is it? We're talking 16 years of consistent clinical use. How has it actually held up over that decade and a half? Has its effectiveness stayed strong?
It absolutely has. I mean, the consistent and meaningful relief the 10 hertz protocol has offered for, over 16 years now is one of its most compelling features. It's proven its durability in real-world clinical settings day in, day out. It continuously demonstrates its ability to reduce symptoms and help people achieve remission, especially, as we said, for individuals who felt kind of stuck after trying standard antidepressants or therapy.
Right.
And studies, like one by George and colleagues in 2010, further back this up. They showed particularly high remission rates for folks with maybe less severe treatment resistance, significantly outperforming the sham treatments. So the sheer depth of long-term data for 10 hertz provides a level of confidence for doctors and patients that's, well, pretty unmatched in this specific area.
So clearly a very well-established, reliable option, but the field of neurostimulation doesn't stand still, does it? It's constantly pushing forward. We've seen newer technologies emerge like intermittent theta burst stimulation or ITBS.
That's right, ITBS.
What's the main innovation that ITBS brings? What's its big selling point?
Speed. Without a doubt, speed. While the 10 hertz protocol started at, 37 minutes, got down to around 19, ITBS can deliver a full treatment session in as little as 3 minutes.
3 minutes, seriously?
3 minutes. It's a monumental leap in terms of patient convenience and just the sheer number of patients a clinic can potentially treat in a day. I mean, imagine fitting a potentially life-changing treatment into what's basically a coffee break.
That is truly remarkable. 3 minutes, and the science supports it. I remember hearing about the Blumberger study, 2018, I think.
That's the one. Blumberger et al., 2018, a real landmark paper. It essentially established ITBS as being non-inferior to the standard 10 hertz protocol.
Non-inferior. Okay, so basically just as good, even though it's dramatically shorter.
Correct. Statistically speaking, it achieves similar levels of effectiveness in reducing depression symptoms.
Wow. Okay, so if it's just as good and way faster, are there any trade-offs? Or situations where a clinician might still choose the longer 10 hertz session?
That's a critical question, because non-inferior doesn't always mean universally superior or the best choice for everyone in every situation. While ITBS is incredibly efficient, There are nuances.
Like,
Well, some clinics might find that the slightly longer 10 hertz session, maybe 19 minutes now, allows for a bit more patient interaction during the treatment itself, which can be valuable for comfort or for monitoring things in real time.
okay, that makes sense.
There's also, as we discussed, the sheer volume of long-term data for 10 hertz, 16 plus years. That extensive track record gives a certain comfort level to some practitioners, and maybe even some insurance providers, particularly for specific patient profiles.
Right, the tried and true factor.
Exactly. And while it seems less common, some individual patients might just anecdotally report responding better to the slightly different stimulation pattern of 10 hertz. So it's not like ITBS made 10 hertz obsolete overnight. It's an important, faster alternative. And research continues. There were other advancements discussed in studies even in 2021, constantly refining parameters.
It's really fascinating how these different approaches can coexist, each with its own strengths. So despite these really exciting innovations, like the incredible speed of ITBS, it sounds like the 10 hertz protocol hasn't just faded away. Why does it remain so trusted and, well, so widely used around the world?
That's right. It absolutely holds its ground. And it's primarily because of that extensive clinical track record we keep mentioning.
Yeah.
The robust body of evidence supporting its effectiveness and its safety profile over many, many years. For a lot of clinics and doctors, it represents the tried and true option. The gold standard they learned first, perhaps, with predictable outcomes and a really deep well of real-world experience to draw upon. Its enduring value is really a testament to its consistent, reliable results.
And it's that enduring value, that reliability that Sabres Medical really understands. They're right at the forefront of this technology.
They are.
For clinics looking to bring in TMS therapy or maybe enhance what they already offer efficiently, Sabres Medical delivers cutting-edge, non-invasive brain stimulation tech. Their Blossom TMS device seems like a really compelling solution. How does it manage to blend that proven 10 hertz protocol with more advanced, modern technology?
Yeah, what sets the Blossom TMS device apart and what Sabres Medical has really excelled at is focusing on practical innovation that helps clinics function better. One common challenge, especially with high-frequency stimulation like 10 hertz done repeatedly, is heat building up in the coil.
Ah, right. The machine gets hot.
Exactly. And that can lead to the machine needing downtime to cool off or requiring breaks during sessions, which obviously impacts patient scheduling and flow. The Blossom TMS device has advanced cooling technology built right in, which actively prevents that overheating.
Okay, so it can keep going reliably.
Precisely. This is critical because it ensures the device can maintain performance, handle those shorter 19-minute protocols reliably session after session, and maybe even handle back-to-back patients more easily. Importantly, it significantly reduces those logistical headaches for clinics. The machine is ready when needed, which maximizes how many patients they can help and potentially reduces waiting lists.
So it's not just about the science of the pulses themselves, but making it work practically in a busy clinic. That makes a huge difference. The Blossom TMS device sounds like it really represents that perfect combination of efficiency and proven effectiveness. Good for the clinic, good for the patient.
That's the goal.
It means clinics can get TMS therapy up and running quickly or expand, feeling confident they're offering a reliable, gold standard treatment that also fits smoothly into how they operate day to day. And again, this kind of impactful cutting-edge technology is brought to you by Sabres Medical. You can find out more over at blossomtms.com.
Looking back over these past 16, almost 17 years, the impact of the 10 hertz protocol since its introduction has been nothing short of transformative. It really has helped tens of thousands of patients around the globe find relief. It's solidified its place as a true cornerstone in treating major depressive disorder.
Yeah.
It's just a powerful testament to how an original, really well-researched solution can stand the test of time and keep delivering profound results, even as exciting new innovations emerge and refine the field.
Exactly. It really stands as a symbol of progress, doesn't it? And enduring hope in the ongoing fight against depression. The 10 hertz protocol has proven that while the field of brain stimulation keeps evolving, and while faster, newer tech like ITBS offers these incredibly exciting possibilities, these original, reliable solutions often continue to provide that crucial, sometimes life-changing relief that patients desperately need. Its success over more than a decade, it really speaks for itself.
Which does bring us to a really important question, I think, for all of us as we consider the future of therapeutic innovation and personalized healthcare more broadly. How do we As a society, as a medical community, how do we judiciously balance the excitement and the undeniable efficiency of new, faster technologies with a consistent, proven, deeply researched track record of established methods like 10 hertz?
That's a tricky balance.
It is. And what does finding that balance mean for how we approach tailoring the most effective relief, the best possible treatment path for each individual patient sitting in front of us?
That is a profound thought to consider as we move forward, finding that sweet spot between the new and the proven. And if you listening are interested in exploring more about cutting-edge non-invasive brain stimulation technology and how it's making a tangible difference in people's lives, we definitely encourage you to visit blossomtms.com.
That's Blossom TMS double sun.
Exactly. blossomtms.com, brought to you by Sabres Medical.